the Beverly Hillbillies.
Cleaning, huh?
Oh, yes, sir, Pa. Elmer and me.
Elmer?
Oh, he scurries around inside the cabinets. Dusts them. How's it going, Elmer?
Well, handy little critter, ain't he?
Sure is.
That raccoon fur is better than feathers for picking up lint, Jed.
Seems right proud to be happy, too.
Elmer's a dandy little duster.
Well, let's take our dusters outside and shake them.
Yes, sir, Granny.
Then you can take yours upstairs and have him do the dresser drawers in the closet.
Uncle Jed, old Honest Johnny'd never come back to pick up his $700,000.
Here's that way.
Can I have it as an advance against my allowance?
50 cents a week, that'd take a while to pay back.
I'm young.
You ain't that young. Besides, Honest John needs that money to help fight smog.
You know, I'd like to throw my brain into the fight against smog.
It's a dandy cause. They say what it'll take to whip it is brains and money.
Well, betwixt us, we got it made, ain't we?
I reckon we got a leg up on it.
Elmer and me'll get busy upstairs.
Fine, Ellie. Oh, Jed, that reminds me. Mr. Drysdale called and said he was coming by to pick up this money.
How come?
Well, he said folks hadn't ought to keep $700,000 in cash around the house. He's got the hives from worrying about it.
Well, I'm sorry about the hives, but I promised this money to Honest John to fight smog.
I'm thinking about jumping into the fight against smog, too, Granny.
Well, Mr. Drysdale said that this money belongs back in the vault at his bank, and he's coming by to pick it up.
I don't think I can let him have it. Promise is a promise.
I'm gonna fight smog, Granny.
Well, I told Mr. Drysdale that you might not let him have it, but he says he's coming by to pick it up. So that's betwixt you and him.
Granny, I'm gonna fight smog.
How?
Well, I don't know, but Uncle Jed says it takes brains and money. Betwixt us, we's all set.
You got money, have you?
No, I'm supplying the brains. Sitting up here betwixt these sideburns is a real brute.
The only brute you have sits here at the end of your gullet.
I think we ought to encourage your boy, Granny.
He don't know smog from applesauce.
I do so. I listen to the reports all the time. Why, today we's having light eye irritation. But that don't worry me, because I got dark eye.
That's a great partner you got there, Jed. Oh.
All right, guard. Go in there and get that money, and don't take no for an answer.
You forced me to wear this uniform to save paying a guard, but it won't work. Mr. Clampett will recognize me.
I thought of that. So just wear this disguise. There we go. Looks great. Now get the money.
Oh, but suppose Mr. Clampett won't let me take it.
Well, you've got a gun. Use it.
Oh, gee.
Oh, I don't need to shoot him. Just fire a couple of shots over his head to show him you mean business.
I will not. If you want that money, go and get it yourself.
A fine guard you are. Why, you're a disgrace to that uniform.
Mr. Drysdale, I thought I heard somebody.
Oh, Mr. Clampett, this guard is here to pick up that $700,000.
I don't think I can let him have it.
Well, whatever you do, don't cross him. He's armed. He's a mad dog killer.
Is that fact? Are you a mad dog killer, Miss Jane?
Of course not.
Miss Hathaway, what are you doing in that uniform?
Oh, boy.
If this is your idea of a practical joke, I, for one, do not appreciate it. Or can I imagine Mr. Clampett is amused either?
Now,
I'll see that she's punished, Mr. Clampett. And I think the proper punishment would be to make her carry out that heavy bag of money. Go get it.
Now, hold on. She ain't toting out that money.
Oh, well, if you want to forgive her so easily, but keep an eye on her. Any woman who'll dress up like that bears watching. Hello, Jethro.
Hi, Mr. Drysdale.
Get up. I need this money.
Uncle Jed don't want you to have it, so I'm going to sit here till I think of a way to get rid of the smog.
Jethro, that is a problem for a genius to solve.
Thank you. I'm working on it.
Why don't you go out to the kitchen and eat something?
Vowed I wouldn't eat till I figured out a way to whip the smog.
Well, go get a stick and hit it.
You ain't being no help.
Well, neither are you. Get out.
Not till I think of an idea.
Jethro, get off the money. Here's an armed guard. He'll shoot you.
Hey, mister, you look like his secretary, Miss Jane.
I am, Miss Jane.
What are you doing wearing that outfit?
It was dark when she dressed this morning. Now get off the money.
Chief, Mr. Clappett is not going to let you take this money.
Okay, then you take it. Come on, get out.
Get it. We might just as well go back to the office.
Hey, Miss Jane, before you go, just sit down and help me think of an idea on how to get rid of smog.
Jethro, dear boy, the finest minds in the country are working on that problem.
Well, yeah, but I ain't getting nowhere.
Don't sit there wasting time with that idiot.
Hey, now, hold on. Just because she's dressed funny, don't make her an idiot.
Get up from there, both of
Hey,
you.
now, Mr. Drysdale, it is hard to think of brilliant ideas with folks yelling at you.
Yeah.
Where does Granny keep her shotgun?
Sure hope I can whip that smog problem before I starve to death.
Jethro, I'm afraid that problem won't be solved until someone invents a replacement for the internal combustion engine.
I'll do it. I'm on it. Hey, what's internal combustion engine?
Well, that's the engine that powers the average automobile. The hope is to convert to steam or electricity.
Hey, Mr. Drysdale, what should I put my giant brain to work on first? A steam car or electric car?
Why not a gas turbine?
Oh, I ain't gonna mess with hats. Just cars.
Swell.
Mr. Drysdale, I done told you this money is staying here. Mr. Drysdale, get off of my money.
It's my money.
No, it ain't. It's mine.
It was my sack.
All right, I'll dump the money out, and you can have the sack.
Good. Just dump it in that truck out front.
It's staying here.
But it's not safe here.
Well, it was till you showed up.
But no, it's going back into my vault.
No, it ain't.
Oh, Chief.
Don't stand there, Hathaway. Use your gun.
That is an excellent idea. Stand back, Mr. Clappett. I should hate to hit you.
You traitor!
Mr. Drysdale, get a hold of yourself. I done promised this money to a fella's going to get rid of all the smog.
Not Jethro.
No. This fella's going to drill a tunnel through the San Bernardino Mountains, put in a great big fan, and draw all the smog out of Los Angeles.
But that's a preposterous idea.
Yeah, we like it too.
Mr. Clampett, the problem of smog is too big to be handled locally. It has to be solved on a national level.
Is that a fact?
Only the president can get together the brain power and the vast amount of money necessary. Why, this $700,000 isn't even a drop in the bucket.
Well, how much does the president need?
Oh, millions, billions. Oh, I'll just take this chicken feed back to the bank.
I'll study on it, Mr. Drysdale.
No, give up, Chief. Let's go.
Hold it, Hathaway. I'm not through with you.
What now?
You are guilty of conduct unbecoming an employee of the Commerce Bank.
Oh, big deal.
For cowardice in the face of action. A failure to obey a direct order. Thorough treachery and insubordination. You are hereby dishonorably discharged as a guard and reduced to the rank of secretary.
Hallelujah.
Don't expect a Christmas bonus this year.
I have never had a Christmas bonus.
Well, don't expect one this year either. Now get the truck.
Boy, what have you done to that truck?
Looks like the boob has set it on fire.
Jethro, what'd you do?
Done converted this rascal to steam. You are looking at the answer to air pollution by automobiles. The Jethro Bodine steam car. But I have done perfected a clean engine.
I'm going back inside.
Let's all do that before this clean engine chokes us to death.
Uncle Jed, Honest John ain't gonna be needing his money no more now that I whipped the smog problem. So I use it to mass produce my steam car.
Hold on, boy. According to Mrs. Drysdale, only the president himself can handle a small problem.
The President of the United States?
That's right. He's the only one that can bring together the brains and the money.
Well, here stands the whole kit and caboodle. I'll hop on my steam car, drive to Washington, pull up in front of the White House, and give him the brains and the money, all in one package.
Hold on, boy. What you got there is just a drop in the bucket.
And it ain't likely enough money either.
Talking about the money, Granny. Mr. Drysdale says the president's liable to need millions, even billions. I was thinking of giving him all my money.
Okay, I'll stop by the bank and get the rest of it.
Well, Pop, if Jethro goes to Washington, I want to go too.
And they ain't going without me.
I was just coming to that. I think it'd be a fine trip for the whole family.
I best go leave a note for the milkman. Tell him he's going to Washington.
And since you have failed to make your final payment promptly, we are forced to repossess your automobile. Sincerely, your friendly banker, Milburn Drysdale.
Chief, you're telling your own brother you're repossessing his car?
Oh, that is a little cold, isn't it? P.S. Regards to Betty and the babies. Yes, who is it?
It's me, Mr. Drysdale. I fetched you back your sack of chicken feed.
Oh, bless you, bless you.
Right happy to get it, ain't he?
No chicken could be happier.
I studied on what you said about letting the president fight the small.
Wonderful.
The cashier tells me that counting this, I got right at $95 million in your bank now.
Wonderful.
So we're going to take it to Washington and give it to the president.
Mr. Clampett, you can't give all your money to the president.
Why not?
Well, because it... Miss Hathaway, tell them why not.
Why not?
Not that way. Explain it.
Mr. Clampett, it is your money. You may do with it as you wish.
Who asked you to butt in?
You did.
Well, butt out. Now, Mr. Clampett, this will take time. Government red tape, internal revenue, Secret Service, White House clearance. Now, I'll work it out and call you.
Well, I'd appreciate it if you'd hurry, because we'd like to get started.
Right away, right away.
Oh, and you don't have to give us the $95 million in cash. I reckon the president will take a check.
Well, I'll discuss it with him and let you know. Miss Hathaway, you've got to help me. If they take their money out of my bank, I'm ruined. I've got nothing to live for.
Oh, now, Chief.
A suicide note. That will stop them. Here, take this. Mr. Clampett, because you are withdrawing your money, my death is on your hands.
Chief, no.
Now, type that up, pin it to your dress, and throw yourself out the window.
Me?
They love you. This will teach them a great lesson.
Thanks, but... No thanks.
I promise this is the last favor I'll ever ask.
Forget it.
Right? If you're too chicken to throw yourself out the window, I'll do it. All right, come over here. I can't throw you out from there.
What's all the honking for, boy?
I done come up with an invention that beats steam.
Yeah, I see the boiler's going.
Yes, sir. Notice how quiet she is? No noise, no smoke, no smog. She runs on electricity.
Doggy. I'm real proud of you, boy.
Wow, the presidents are calling you.
All the way from Washington.
President of the United States is calling me.
Yes, sir, Pop.
They're bringing the old fellow to the phone, Mr. Little.
Isn't he in a straitjacket?
Oh, no, he's not dangerous. He just suffers from the delusion that he's worth $95 million.
No wonder he's in the funny farm.
The whole family.
You know, it's wonderful of you to look after them.
Oh, they're very sweet people. Naughty, but sweet.
Hurry, Dad, don't keep them waiting.
Hey, tell them about my electric car.
Hello? Hello? Hello, Jed Clampett speaking.
Hello, Mr. Clement. This is the president speaking.
Is that sure enough you, Mr. President?
Oh, yes. Make no mistake about that. I am the president.
That's him, all right.
Now, Mr. Drysdale has told me of your generous and patriotic offer to donate your entire fortune to the fight against air pollution.
Yes, sir. It's only $95 million, but you're sure welcome to it. And we'll bring it right to you, right there in the White House. The whole family.
This here's Granny, Mr. President. I'll bring you some pickle pawpaws and some hand-slung chickens.
Mr. President, this here's Ellie Mae. Would you like a nice little baby possum to play with?
My nephew Jethro ain't here to say howdy, but he's going to drive us all the way to Washington in his brand new invention, the electric car.
No. Don't come to Washington. We've got enough people like you here already. You're public-spirited citizens, then.
Well, how will we get the money to you?
Well, I'm glad you asked me that. I want to make this point very clear.
What is the point I want to make very clear?
Leave your money in the bank. The Commerce Bank of Beverly Hills, where it will draw maximum interest, compounded semi-annually, in the care of your wise and friendly banker, Melvin Drysdale.
Well, naturally, we'll do whatever you say, Mr. President. But the family's going to be awful disappointed. We was hoping to get away to Washington.
Oh, no. Don't try to get away. Just stay right there and do what the nice man in the white coat tells you. Goodbye.
Bye.
What'd he say, Jed?
He said he don't want us to come to Washington right now.
Well, what are we supposed to do, Pa?
He says he's going to send a man in a white coat to tell us. Jethro, I just talked to the president, and we won't be driving to Washington in your electric car.
Just as well, Uncle Jed. I'd never found an extension cord long enough to get us there.
Mr. Little, that was a magnificent performance.
Thank you.
Why, your impersonation of the president was absolutely incredible.
Thank you.
I hope to see you again sometime. Take good care of yourself.
Mr. Drysdale, aren't you forgetting something?
Oh, what's that?
My fee.
Oh, yes. How much is it?
Well, ordinarily I receive $7,500 for a performance. However, in this case, I'll cut it in half. How's $3,750?
$37.50 it is. 20, 40. Now, you owe me $2.50.
No, that's $3,750.
For 5 minutes' work, the president doesn't get that much, and he's the real thing.
Excuse me, Chief. These foreclosures are ready. Aren't you Rich Little, the impressionist?
Yes, I am.
Oh, Mr. Little, I just love your impression of John Wayne.
Huh? Well, thank you very much, ma'am. And let me say that if we had girls like you out on the trail, I never would have given my horse a second look.
Oh, that is marvelous.
Thank you.
And your Ed Sullivan is an absolute classic.
Old Ed Sullivan? Wonderful. Would you do me a favor there, youngster? Would you come on our show next Sunday night and bring your stuffed giraffe?
Yes.
Love to have you.
What else are you going to have on the show?
World War I with the original cap, in living color, with the surprise ending.
Oh, isn't he fabulous?
He certainly is. This was a real pleasure.
Wait a minute, you're forgetting something again.
Oh, yes, your fee. What are you charging her for Wayne and Sullivan?
Oh, nothing.
I'll accept the same arrangement.
Don't leave no milk for a spell. We is going to Washington, Granny.
Yeah.
Well, you're going to Washington.
Whiz?
That's what the message says. Have a good trip.
Hey, Uncle Jed, we's going to Washington. We just got the message.
What'd you say, boy?
We's going to Washington. The fella in the white coat just brought the message from the president.
Well, where is he?
Yonder he goes.
Ain't that the milkman?
Being a milkman is what you call a cover.
Cover.
He's really a secret agent for the government.
Sure not?
Yeah, I learned all that stuff when I was a double-knot spy.
Well, reckon we best get packing.
Hey, should I convert my electric car back to steam?
No, I think we better fly. When the president sends for you, you don't want to keep him waiting.
Well, if he comes in, will you please ask him to call his office immediately? It's an emergency. Thank you.
How do you like it, Miss Holloway?
Chief, where have you been?
Shopping. Any messages?
Oh, just one, but it's a beauty. The Clappets are leaving for Washington.
What?
They're determined to give their $95 million to the president.
We've got to stop them. Get Rich Little back.
You're kidding.
Huh? Here's a signed check. He can make it out for any amount he likes. I'll get up to the Clampetts and delay them until he calls. I made it. They're still here. Clampett, Granny, Ellie Mae, Jethro. Where is everybody? Oh, hello, Bessie.
Is that for me? How are you? Dear Mr. Drysdale, please feed the critters till we get back.
Enjoying your flight?
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
We's going to Washington to see the president.
We're going to give him $95 million.
Oh, boy.
You know the president.
Talked to him this morning. I'm fetching him a baby possum.
And I'm taking him a jar of pickled pawpaws and some hand-slung chitlins.
We was going in my electric car, but I couldn't find no 3,000-mile extension cord.
That's very interesting.
Young lady, how high would you say we're flying?
A lot higher than the plane.
Weeknights on Hallmark. Watch great stories.
I'm an angel.
And witness the miracles. Touched by an Angel. Weeknights at 8 on the Hallmark Channel. Maxine's job is to keep families together.
In just a few minutes, you will be one big happy family.
Including her own.
Mom, you have to stop. Stop what? I know you mean well, but you really have to let me grow up.
I thought I did that already.
Amy Brenneman and Tyne Daly in Judging Amy. Monday at 9 on Hallmark Channel.
Y'all come back now. Here.
This has been a Film Waste